Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. And today I'm so very proud, I'm so very glad to be able to stand before you this day, early this morning, and bring you this particular message. And I hope that it is a liberating message, an uplifting message, and a hopeful message. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations and thank you, America. Now, I'd also like to draw attention to what is happening down in Florida and other red states that are divided from the rest of the people with their ideologies and the oppression that they still stick to. I would like to say that as of yesterday, which was April 20th, the day that the murderer of George Floyd was found guilty. And having done that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say to you that after that decision was made, no bricks were thrown, no buildings were stormed, no windows broken, no TVs stolen. No, today, justice replaced injustice. And what a difference it makes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share this with you. On yesterday, we were all bewildered. We were all anticipating a verdict of guilty, but we are so well aware of what has taken place in the past. And so we had to hold ourselves. We had to repress to the best of our ability what we were feeling. But having heard that decision, after all of these years that most of us have been living on this planet, especially we blacks and people of color, every bit of our years, going through oppression and abuse every single day by white supremacy. And as I looked on television and watched the people standing around anticipating the reading of the verdict by the judge, I watched on television from Minnesota, New York, California, and even down in Mississippi. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? We waited, and we waited, and we waited. And as I looked over that crowd everywhere, all I could see was something that I was reminded of from a long time ago. I saw a complete rainbow coalition out there in the streets standing up for a common call. And that was right there on the moment on everybody's mind. What's going to happen? And there they were. And after that decision was rendered, people were crying. I couldn't hardly hold back the tears. In fact, I didn't really try. But wiping the tears from my eyes, and I still looked at that crowd. And you know what I saw? I saw people united to save humanity. I saw George Floyd being able to bring them together like perhaps none other. Because this time, they didn't say innocent. They said guilty. And as I reflect on this moment in time, this great, great moment in time, I'm reminded that years ago, most of you who are listening right now weren't even born. But there were people out there who have been struggling every day of our lives to make things better. Every day of our lives. To make things better for us, to make things better for our children and our grandchildren, just make life better for everyone. And it's been a long time coming, and it's not there yet, but we see some accountability. And as I stood there and I looked at that crowd, as I looked at those that were making presentations in Minneapolis, I saw the lawyer for the Floyd family. I saw Al Sharpton. And I saw a lot of other young, intelligent brothers, lawyers, who all came together, a part of this movement. And everybody was excited. And my heart was bouncing all over the place. And I looked between a little small space. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I saw one of the foundations of the movement. One that was standing back there when we were talking about getting a Voters' Rights Act. One who's been back there ever since I paid attention. He's an elder now. And many times when you have public events like this, they don't give him the microphone. But I feel so glad to see that he's there. He represents the foundation. He represents the elderism. He represents the consistency of being real. He represents what it means to keep hope alive. And back there, he didn't have a microphone. I could look at him and I could see he is an elder. He's aging. I could see that perhaps he was not in the best health. You know, when we get old, things kind of change a little bit. But it didn't matter. He was there. My friend, Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. He hasn't given up. And while we were blessed to have so many articulate brothers and sisters around to make the presentation, the thing that made it solid for me was a mind that thought of people united to save humanity. Operation Push was all in the middle of it. And my heart felt so much joy that Jesse was still around, not taking anything from all of the wonderful efforts that have been made by all of us who have made the effort. But all I could see in that background was Jesse, the foundation. And having seen that, I want to appeal to the Vice President of the United States, to talk to the President of the United States. I want to talk to the Governor of Illinois, the Mayor of the City of Chicago, and the people of this nation, that we do show our appreciation for keeping hope alive. Show our appreciation for a young man who was so handsome and wise in his early life, who could have done anything, but he just chose to commit his life to representing his people, that they may one day smile, that they might one day say, justice has finally arrived. He might not want the microphone. He might not be able to speak, I don't know. But he was there, and my heart was so glad that he was there. He represents all the people who were way back there in that day, who still here, who still haven't given up. So I ask that he gets the recognition that he so deserves. My friend, a man who's totally committed and has never given up. And I want to present to those of you who don't know him for the first time, and those of you who do know him, a man of commitment, a man of love for humanity. I give to you and I ask that you help me honor the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, who symbolizes to us that we should never quit, that we should never give up. Even when victory is won, never give up so that we can always maintain it. I ask you to share in my love and appreciation for the founder of Push People United to Save Humanity, the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. Thank you.